Well, born and raised in rural Arkansas, Mike Beebe is a graduate of ASU. He got his law degree at the University of Arkansas, spent 20 years in the state Senate, and the past 4 as our state's Attorney General. Now he is running for the top job in the state. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Good to be here, Jen.
Good to see you again. We want to get to the issues, but first of all, I want to start with negative campaign ads that have been running this week, ads linking you with a government corruption scheme in the 90s.
Yeah.
We want to take a look at one of those ads first. Sure. This is an ad put out this week by the Coalition for Arkansas's Future.
Nick Wilson stole millions from Arkansas taxpayers. Mike Beebe let it happen. It's a fact. Governor Huckabee tried to stop them, but Beebe and Wilson passed a corrupt law that led to a 133-count felony indictment. There's more.
According to the Arkansas Legislative Digest, you voted for SB 286 and then voted to override Governor Huckabee's veto of SB 286, which ultimately set up the children's fund that resulted in the public corruption. What is your reaction to this ad, and can you sit here tonight in good faith and tell the voters out there that you had no idea that this legislation would lead to the personal gain of several of your fellow colleagues?
Of course we can. And not only that, but the ad has been denounced by the prosecutors who prosecuted Nick Wilson, both the U.S. attorney who prosecuted and the prosecuting attorney. Governor Huckabee didn't know about it, or he would have said something about it. His veto, when a governor vetoes a bill, they put the reason in there, and his reason was he trusted the Supreme Court and honored the Supreme Court where the money went, but that he didn't want to give them a priority over other areas of that fund. He didn't know it was going to be used in the way it was. Nobody did. The money actually didn't go to Nick Wilson. It went to the Administrative Office of the Courts. What happened then after that was that Administrative Office of the Courts gave the money to Nick Wilson and some of the other folks without any bids. Nobody had a clue they were going to do anything like that. Nobody had any idea they were going to do anything like that. And so the ad's false. The Republican legislators have been in the paper saying it was false. The article by a newspaper person that they're quoting and misquoting wrote a big article today in the newspaper that said it was false, that they took the entire issue out of context for the ad. And so if anybody had known, they would have said something, and frankly, had they said something, we could have caught it on the front end.
When it all came to light, though,
Nick
Wilson ended up resigning instead of you taking the initiative to throw him out of the Senate.
Well, see, that's not right either, Jancy, and the facts are very clear. I initiated a procedure to throw Nick Wilson out of the Senate. There was a procedure where you had to get 2/3 vote to throw him out and to set a hearing. We initiated that procedure, set that hearing date. We set it in early December, and before we could have the hearing, he resigned. Now, he resigned effective December 31st. It was 25 days difference, and so that's when he resigned. But he never would have resigned if we hadn't initiated the process. Not only that, after that was done, after we saw what had happened, I led the fight and actually sponsored the bill to make sure nothing like this could ever happen again, and prevented people from being in the legislature from being able to have those contracts. It's a negative ad.
I do want to move on to other issues, though, so we do include those.
Sure.
On the issue of education, according to your campaign website, when we were surfing through the web, you're proposing developing quality pre-K programs, expanding need-based scholarships, and while you oppose further school consolidation, unlike your opponent, you are actually against lowering education standards.
Correct.
But with what you're proposing, in a sense, wouldn't this be forcing rural schools to close down because they can't meet these standards?
On the contrary, we can't go backwards. What I've proposed is helping rural schools meet the standards by the traveling teacher program. We already do that right now with certain programs such as speech pathologists. What you would be able to do in that situation is allow different school districts, smaller ones and bigger ones, or smaller ones together, to be able to pool their resources, share those teachers, particularly in high-cost areas like physics or foreign languages, and you'll be able to meet those standards, and those rural schools won't give a second-class education.
Another controversial issue over the past few weeks is on the topic of gay adoption and foster care.
Sure.
It was reported, a quote in the Arkansas Times, that you told a group of gay activists called the Stonewall Democrats that you would oppose any bill that sought to prevent them from adopting or being foster parents. Later, you came out saying that you are against gay adoption. What is your position on this? Please clarify this for us.
My position has always been that I'm opposed to gay adoption and gay foster parents. I'm opposed to, I believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. What I told those folks, and what was later reported by people that were there, was that I said I wouldn't sign any unconstitutional bill. When the court came out, they didn't rule it was that the ban was unconstitutional. They ruled in a different area. So I oppose gay foster parents.
All the debates, grocery taxes were brought up, phasing out the grocery tax. You said you do want to do that over a time period.
Yeah.
What time frame are we talking
Well,
about here?
you have to know what your revenue is. I'm the only candidate who came out to eliminate the grocery tax. My opponent, when I came out with that in January, said it wasn't on his agenda. Then he said, I would love to phase it out, but the voters rejected that in 2002, and he's going to honor the will of the voters. Now he wants to do it all at once. If you did it all at once and you don't have the money, you would be cutting education, you would be cutting Medicaid and essential services. We will know in November what the revenue forecast is, and we will know what the adequacy study is going to require to give to the public education. Then you will know how fast or how much you can cut out immediately.
So you think we'll have a definite answer in November?
I think we'll have a definite answer as soon as we know that, yes. And you know, that's done after the election for a good reason, so it's kept out of partisan politics. The official forecast is done after the election for that specific purpose, so that there won't be any partisan politics involved in it.
Unfortunately, 6 minutes goes by very quickly. We are out of time, but thank you so much for stopping by tonight. We wish you the best of luck.
It's good to, thank you very much.
Good to see you again.